Hello, welcome to my channel. It's good to have you here. So my name is Gemma Haley. I am a criminologist. My name is actually Gemma Haley Baxter as a full name. If you'd like to know anything about me, that's it. I am Gematria, so Gemma Tria 369. Yes, I do agree with Freemasonry. I believe they also know that there's a goddess that's here down on this plane, and I will stand by that knowledge. I understand they've been infiltrated with different fractions of inversions, right? So this is my position. I'm obviously the Gematria, so they believe in the Freemasons believe in the Gematria, okay? Another thing is that we treat women with respect and dignity, okay? Children, respect and dignity. We don't hurt them. This is the main priority and focus in our lives if we are to keep an evolution of the people to exist. So, you know what's going on with Illuminatis? Sounds like a fall from a Freemasonry connotation. So, meanwhile, I'll get on. So this topic I'm going to cover is going to be about Scientology. Why not? Studied this in criminology, okay? Studied this already. Studied this in third year. And I just wanted to bring this to you as an aspect of awareness, understanding Scientology, because we're not really taught about this, only unless we go to like university, right? Or if you do have a special day at school, we might tell you all about it. So I'm going to tell you where I think it fits in the Kabbalah, and I'm going to tell you why, and then I'm going to go into other aspects of it, okay? The inversions or things like this that might show an inverted state, right? Like I've just explained, the inversions can take place in all religions and all fractions, right? So I think, myself personally, if I was to understand Scientology, I would say it sits here in mercy, just sowed, and it runs along and sits in an aspect of justice. This is where it is. This is a version as an underpinning of Ron Hubbard's original ideas, okay? So we'll go into this first. Okay, so Ron Hubbard basically created this. They introduced it, Scientology, okay? And it was based on artificial intelligence, and it was in 1952. And what they do is basically they use e-meters to control or to analyze your electro waves, okay? So your auric field and what you feel, your feels, which is here on your sacral chakra, and understanding things like your chakra points, okay? Which is a connotation to understanding the Chinese universal energy code. So Scientology, what do they believe in? Originally, there was a god called the Tan. He made a book, right, called Dianetics, 1950. But he lost his intellectual rights to it in 1952. So 2 years later, he lost his rights to it. And they said he had bankruptcy or something like that, right? Sounds like after 2 years your book would have been booming. Why? How would you lose your rights to that, right? So that's questionable. How did he lose his rights to that? Okay, so what was the book about? What was Dianetics all about? It was about ways to improve mental health. And it was a version in the Kabbalah, right? And to me, it was a 5 and a 4. Because it's improving your mental health, okay? It's your mind. So it was a spiritual work for the mind. And I agree with this. So we've got Scientology, and justice. So mercy, which is support, and justice, which is what? It's improving out something in us. It's in justice we rise to understanding. This is working for us. Okay? This is a travel, right? And the Kabbalah. So, the way I've understood this is pretty basic, I'm telling you. It's pretty basic. So, this actually helps victims, okay? So this is positive, okay? So they've called it many names, okay? Scientology has called it many names. It's actually a religion, okay? Should have said this first, did I? It's a religion, okay? And they call it the Church of Scientology, the Church of Spiritual Technology, okay? So they've called it many things. So it's almost like technology and religion mixed together. So, how else can we explain this? So we can see, after this, developments was made in the psychiatric wards and things like this to help people who have mental illnesses. So, after, I think, he did pass, he was in the 80s. He passed in the 80s. Okay? 1986, I believe he passed away. Bless Ron Hubbard. Sounds like a lovely man, actually. Don't know what else he's up to in his spare time, but what he's done, it sounded like he was on to something, you know? He wanted to help humanity. Right? Anyway, so let's press on. As I said, psychiatric wards then came out with all this new stuff. They called it all sorts of stuff they did. They called it the Atkins-Shiffrin model of memory. And this is where they understood sensory, short-term memory and long-term memory. Okay? And then they came out about how we can understand the mind. So Scientology was a big push for mind work. And it also demonstrated areas of memory as well. They obviously did it before, but we have to understand it in a way where they've produced it under a Scientology because there's a reason. Because it's mixed up with technology. And we're living in a techno world. So what is the memory used for? Encoding, storage, recall, and retrieval. This is also another work that they do. I think it's ESP training. Or it's something else. Extrasensory perception? No, it's something else. I think it might be the Atkins-Shiffrin model where they want you to, chronologically in your mind, put like experiences in a line if it's mixed up. So say like if you had a psychosis and you just had a lot of things hit you at once. Like you ran into a brick wall or something. So, this can be like where they want you, so say like if you've been in like a psychosis or something, they might want you to go back into hospital to have like treatment, and it will be like to rearrange your storage files, like basically where it fit, like your memories and events. The reason why is because they're trying to fix you, and they do it in the UK as well. So sometimes they keep you in the wards longer. I haven't been in them myself personally, so I don't know what it's like in the wards. I know people who have, right? So my understanding of this sounds like they've merged like an AI understanding with a religious fraction, and it's bled into psychiatric units to help individuals, right? So is this a religion? Is it a religion? It's questionable. Like, I don't understand where I can see the religion. I can understand what the tan is called, That's it. I don't know what, that's their God. So I don't really know much else about it. It's just very fixed on healing. Sounds like a spiritual church that we have in the UK, because we have like spiritual churches. It's not got religion in it. I mean, yeah, it's like spiritual church here, but it's not got technology in it and it's not got religion in it. Okay, it's kind of like that, but it's like got AI in there because it's got the e-meters. That sounds like a psychiatric ward. Sounds like something you do in a... I don't think we do a lobotomy anymore. We might do it in America, but we don't here in the UK because it's a form of abuse. But what we do, I think, is hypnotherapy as well. Okay, it's big in the game. That was in 2020. So what example can I give you that is a form of hypnosis? Magicians, right? So what do? For an example, we'll give Darren Brown. Okay, how long ago was that? Like 20 years ago now. He used to do live TV presentations of mass hypnosis, and he used to get people to do things that he wanted them to do. So at that stage, we could see this man could put somebody in a status and make these people do what they wanted them to do on stage in front of everybody. They showed on stage in front of everybody that they can make people do things that they want them to do. So what kind of world did we step in then? Because they stood there like, we don't have a clue what you just made us do. And they're like, no, okay, whatever, right? But obviously they were stood there and they were put into that status, right? Because it didn't happen to all of us, did it? It just happened to them people that were there. Interesting, isn't it? Anyway, it could be a joke. It could have been made up. It could have been a fabrication of, they were just random people selected, but were they? You can question that. However, what did he do? He put them into hypnosis. He was putting them into statuses, right? So, is he a Scientologist? What is his religion? It'd be interesting to know, wouldn't it? So they say only 30,000 people are connected to a Scientologist, and I think they're giving like 4 million, 5 million a year in donations. So I think this is obviously to get some work done, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so what other things is happening in our world? So what is it? Tick boxes and surveys. That's what they've been doing, isn't it? Like surveying us. Like, for example, if you're a student at school, what they'll ask you straight away, oh, you've got to tick these boxes and make sure that you tick these boxes and this is why, and da-da-da-da. Otherwise you won't get a service. Sometimes they say you can if you want to, and you don't have to if you don't want to. And it was about our personal beliefs. So it was about the disadvantages in our society that I bang on about all the time. So it was a criminology, wasn't it? So that's what I talk about. So the disadvantages in the state, what is that? So it would be pinpointing aspects of our colour of our skin, our sexual orientation, our sex, our gender, okay? And they asked these things in a survey. I think they was giving them out to everybody, like, I think they still might be doing it now when we go to college and stuff. Asking our age and things like this, and it was sent off somewhere. We don't know where it went. They were just like, oh, we're just doing this, do a survey, right? So what was in them tick boxes? What was it? Random stuff. So yeah, like I said, but what's the big topics now? Okay, so we've got gender. Okay, so to me that's sex, and if you're a boy or a girl, wake up, right? And then we've got sexual orientation. Yeah, so if you're a man, you're like a woman. If you're a woman, you're like a man. Wake up. We don't do children. Wake up. So, let's press on. In the surveys, they made us feel vulnerable just by asking that. Okay, so I've got white skin, I might put tan on sometimes. The tan on sometimes. But I won't put it on all the time because I'm white and I like being white. Because this is my skin. My porcelain skin. Don't need a tan. Okay? I don't tan anyway. Maybe sometimes, but yeah. Who cares? Right? So, I'd like to talk now about society and where it's progressed since the tick box forms. It's still going, the tick box forms are. But I'd like to talk about now in society about what happened in 2019 when there was a COVID outbreak. I personally didn't see anyone pass. Okay? I didn't see that. Maybe many people did. I didn't. Okay? So it was very quiet for me. Like it was for many others. Okay? We can't understand the experience of everybody because we wasn't there, okay, to experience that. And there's nothing wrong with saying that, is there? So, what happened was, everybody had a jab. We had to have these jabs because it was going to help us, okay? So, what was in the jabs? Well, there was technology in them. There was technology in them, okay? So there's RNA, mRNA technology, and it was to help the protein S, the proteins, develop antibodies, okay, naturally. This was the idea, and that's why it's nanotech. That's why they say, oh, it's nanotech running through you, right? And it was in the vaccines, and it was meant to help people, and I believe that might have been something progressed from the Scientology, because it makes sense. And it was something to do with the Scientology and the sort of like an emergence within biology. So it sounds like Scientology has now progressed into aspects of biology. Okay? And a lot of people are still here, so we're still going. I mean, it's not like everyone's popped it, is it? So I haven't taken it. I haven't taken that jab. I'm scared to. I don't want to. And, it's just because I don't know why. I just don't want to. So, it was a really big thing.